Shit, so with this video and from this point forward, I'm trying something different. You can even see it in my posture. I'm kind of trying to be a little bit more laid back than I am in my other videos. Because, I'm trying to, grow my YouTube. Over the past month, I've definitely been seeing some growth in it. In the past 28 days, I've had 10,000 views, which I don't think I've ever done before. So, that's kind of motivation to, keep going and trying to be more consistent. And, the thing is, I've had music on YouTube forever, you know what I mean? Like, you know, at least like the past 3, 4, 5 years, I've had music on YouTube. And, just keep growing it more and more because, through DistroKid, every time, you put music up on the platforms, of course, it's going on YouTube. So, that's always been a thing. But, with the, what I call, some quick bars, those videos, because I always name them some quick bars over whatever beat I'm getting on. Like, I've been seeing that they've been doing pretty well as of recently. I say like the past 5, 6 videos I've done, rapping in under a minute. So they shorts videos, they been drawing like, a little over 1,000 views, except the last one. That shit kind of flopped for real, but it's cool. I want it to happen sometimes, you know what I mean? Everything don't need to, you know what I mean, hit like that because, at some point something's gonna hit way bigger than, what's been, done hit so far. So, 1,000 views might be cool right now, but at some point, I expect to see 10,000 views or 50,000 or 100,000 or, what I mean? We ain't trying to see no sailing with this shit. So, yeah, and I just look at it like, I just got to start, pulling the trigger, man. I tend to overthink, you know what I mean? I'll make a video and watch it, sit there and be like, is this shit worth posting? And I just be overthinking it, and I'll just have, shit sitting there, and then I'll eventually not post it at all. And it's like, I just got to get out of that habit for real. I just got to, say whatever on my mind at the time, try to make it a little longer than what I'm used to talking and shit. Cause I'm gonna be honest, man, I just wanted to rap, yo. Like, all this shit that's going on now, like, I'm starting to, adapt to it and embrace it and want to be a part of it because I know that it could grow my platform and, bring people to my music, which is ultimately the end game for me. Maybe not necessarily the end game, but, just what I have in mind right now is, I'm focused on being an artist, but I know you got a better chance of bringing people to your music if you can offer other things as well, you know what I mean, to entertain or inform or whatever the case may be. So I just gotta, what I mean, do what I gotta do to be more consistent and just with certain things, you know what I mean, because I am gonna keep coming with the quick bar videos. I'm gonna definitely keep coming with the music for real. It's just a matter of bringing other shit, you know what I mean. The creative process can get overwhelming, man. Especially with the way things are now, man. Like, we got such easy access to this shit, and it's ways to come up, and it's attainable. You know what I mean? It's real attainable. People doing it every day for real. Somebody's gonna wake up. You know what I mean? Their YouTube channel and took off. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody gonna wake up and one of their songs took off, or you know what I mean? And it could be anybody at any time, yo. So it's like, why not go for this shit? You know what I mean? Why be the motherfucker scrolling and looking at everybody else shit when you could be one of the ones that got people scrolling looking at your shit as well, you know? We all got something to offer. I would hope, you know what I mean? Maybe not everybody, but, a lot of us got, some shit to create that we could offer that people want to listen to. I was just watching the what's this shit called? Cadillac Chronicles, I think, where like, artists from back in the day. They riding around in Cadillac with the one dude and shit, and they they rapping their old songs and shit like that. And Arrested Development was on there. And he said one of the things that he learned over the years was people want to hear you. You know what I mean? They want to hear what you got to say, like all over the world. You just got to put it out there for it to be heard. And I couldn't agree more with that, yo. That's what I've learned, yo. Like it started with me, build my catalog. I found the right song. I just pushed it, man, and got it out there. And it started something that I just continued to build on. And I got to continue to do that. I got to find new ways, man. I gotta make longer content. I gotta find new things that I could do. Like all this shit is about trial and error, and it is gonna be a lot of error. You know what I mean? You're gonna try things that's gonna work. You're gonna try things that don't work, and the things that don't work, they might benefit you more sometimes than the things that do work because you learn and you grow from it. Like I had a homeboy that I used to work with. He said some shit one time that just, put a lot of things in perspective. And the situation, it really didn't have nothing to do with, how I apply it now. But like, so basically he was a coworker of mine, homeboy, shout out to Trey and shit. We got sent down to Dallas to work for a couple weeks and shit, from Baltimore or whatever. And so while we down there, we going out and doing shit after work, shit like that. So, my man, he a ladies man and shit. Me, I'm more like, laid back. It's like, if that shit happen, you know what I mean, and cool, but it ain't nothing I'm going out there, trying to shoot my jumper. I'm kind of more shy and reserved and shit. But he out there, shooting a shot at everything, yo. And I'm just sitting back, laughing like, yo, my man's is wild, yo. And he telling me, I gotta jump in the fire and shit too, yo. So I'm finally, he convinced me. I'm like, all right, yo, whatever, yo. So, we at the spot. Um, we had like a little restaurant eating and shit, and the waitress, she said some slick shit to me for real. And he was like, hey, yo, if you don't, say something to her, yo, I'm gonna say something for you. I'm like, nah, yo, I got you, yo. So, she come back over there, I try to shoot my shot, get a number, and she hit me with the, she and the girls, she not straight. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, well, damn, that's how that went. He like, shit, man, you good? He like, yo, I play to lose, yo. And when he said that, it's like that shit just like stuck in my head ever since. Mind you, this shit happened like 3 years ago, yo. And when he said I play to lose, yo, like that shit just really hit me. It's like you're not necessarily playing to lose, but you play knowing that you might not always win, and sometimes like it's better to not win, because when you lose, that shit make you better. And like if you was always winning, you know what I mean, you wouldn't grow. You would just always, be at the same level, because it's like you're so used to winning at that level. But it's like if you lose a couple times, you're just gonna build yourself stronger and stronger, yo. So it's like I learned from, what I'm lacking in, what I mean, what I could be doing better at. And it makes the process a little less overwhelming, what I mean? Of course, I can't speak for everybody, but a motherfucker like me going, overthink a lot of shit, wondering if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm dropping shit at the right time, if I'm waiting too long, if I'm not waiting long enough. Like, it's just a lot of shit, yo. But all in all, like, you just gotta take it a day at a time, a step at a time, and just go for it. You know what I mean? It's better to go for it than to think about going for it, because even if you miss the shots, fuck it. You know what I mean? You don't make the shots if you don't take them. So you miss shots, you make shots, and it's just part of it, yeah. Rich.